Tragically Hip is one of Canada's biggest bands. They have been honored in many ways across the country. Now, the Canadian icons are being celebrated in quite a different way with a ballet. The Alberta Ballet working on a new piece inspired by their music. Jean Grand-Maitre is the artistic director for the Alberta Ballet. He joins us now from Calgary. Thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Can you tell me where this idea came from, when it popped up?
It came up a long time ago because we started doing portrait ballets at the Alberta Ballet with Joni Mitchell in 2007. We collaborated with Joni for 2 years on this creation. Then we worked with Elton John, Katie Lang, Sarah McLachlan. This year we're working with Gordon Lightfoot, but the biggest, most exciting collaboration I think we've had so far was going to be next year with the Tragically Hip, of course.
So when you are collaborating with them, what do you decide? What songs are going to be used, how they're going to be used? Tell me what those discussions involve.
Well, we try to create a portrait of their music, which is very different from creating a portrait of their lives. It's really about the music they've written, why they wrote it, what they're trying to do with their art, and how they've tried to inspire people. And so I meet with the artists. That's the most important part, is that first meeting I have with them, and I talk to them about their life and their music and how it all comes together. And from these meetings and these wonderful discussions, then the whole ballet is created with designers that are also collaborating with me. And so the entire work is created based on conversations we have with the musicians.
Give me an idea, Jean, because you said you've done quite a few of these in the past, how it would have worked with someone like Sarah McLachlan. It would have affected, I imagine, not only the design of the set and the background, but even the costumes of the performers.
Yes, because all of these singers have lasted the decades, of course, because they're extraordinary songwriters. And all of them have in their music inspirations and issues that move them forward, just like the Tragically Hip, of course. So these essential conversations talk about that, and I go to the heart. I try to capture something very truthful about their music and their music writing. And you can't describe the entire Tragically Hip in one ballet. That's not possible. But you can find a needle of truth about their music and their art. And in that conversation, in that moment, when something connects, I think then it opens the doors, and we work with them on selecting songs. We work with them on the aesthetic of the ballet, the lighting, the set design. They tell us how they feel. I ask them who their favorite painters are, designers, all kinds of questions that help lead me into a creation that's going to portray their music in all its facets. And this is what's interesting, is that I've learned that in ballet we work with composers that died sometimes 200 years ago. So we never get to meet our composers, but with these portrait ballets, it's been quite a privilege for me to work with these extraordinary artists of our time.
Do you already have any ideas of where this will go, what it will do? We've got some video footage and performance footage, of course, of Mr. Downey, and we're always sort of looking at the moves that are specific to him. Do you ever incorporate the moves of the performers themselves, the band?
No, I try to avoid that because there's no way you can reproduce Elton John on stage, or Michael Jackson, or these extraordinary performers. So you have to avoid trying to recreate them, but to create their ethos, everything around them, and how they've influenced the world. It's a challenge, but it's so interesting for the dancers, for myself, and for the designers, because we really go into whole other worlds we never would have gone to normally in ballet, and it brings new audiences. And that for the musicians is like for Elton John was very important, that we have new audiences come to the ballet. So it's a portal that brings in new audiences, and at the same time we discover these musicians' repertoire. And it's extraordinary how people relate to this and to the dance. So it's been an extraordinary series for us.
Sir, thank you so much for joining us today. It does sound like a very interesting project to take on. It sounds like you're absolutely right. It'll bring new people to the sphere of ballet. Jean Grand-Maitre is the artistic director for the Alberta Ballet, joining us today from Calgary. Thanks again.
Thank you.